Hi, today we're going to be making a chocolate bar. Yes, you heard me right, chocolate bar. We're going to be using our food grade platinum custom mold rubber, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio. And I've already prepared our logo, SRC Specialty Resin logo, and when it's done you're going to see, instead of a Hershey bar, you're going to see SRC Specialty Resin chocolate bar. It's going to be kind of cool. So the process, I sped up the process by putting in a box already. All we have to do is mix up the 1-to-1 ratio, and I'll videotape that, and then we'll go ahead and cook it about 15 minutes. And once it's in the oven for about 15 minutes, it'll speed up the curing time, which means within 30 minutes we could go ahead and pour the chocolate bits in it, put it back to the oven, and then let the chocolate slowly melt, take its shape. We take it out for it to cool, and then we demold it, and voila, we'll get our chocolate bar. Alright, so let's start the process. First, I dust the area. Now, I do have a tape. You've probably seen my early videos. I put a transparent tape, packaging tape underneath it, and then basically I've caulked around the edges with glue, hot glue gun, and it should be pretty tight, so it shouldn't leak. And once I've done that, what I do next is I take oil. It could be any kind of oil. I'm going to use olive oil because that's what I have right now. And then I'll take a little bit of paper towel, or anything that doesn't leave lint behind. Sponge would be fine too. There's our oil, and I'll just go ahead and get a little bit of it. Don't oversaturate it. Just want to kind of brush it on certain areas. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, it's just fine there. Alright, so that should be good there. Alright, let's go ahead and put this down here so you can videotape it. Next, I'm going to keep this paper towel because I'm going to do another one later on. Alright, so we're going to take the custom mold A and use our handy cup. Okay, so we have already poured the silicone. All right, let's go ahead and do the bombs away. Okay, so I baked it, and now I started taking off the frames. That's how it's gonna look. It's still warm to the touch. I mean, it shouldn't be hot at all. This is the glue that was on the edge here, so I'm gonna start peeling off here. Now, if I do get a little stickiness, I'll probably throw it back in the oven, but I think it's gonna be fine. No stickiness. Success. I do see a little bit oil here, but see, hey, wiped off. So it's happy with the olive oil. And no bubbles. At this stage you have to make sure your gloves are clean, because we're going to rinse this off, wash it with Dawn soap, dish soap, and then we're going to basically prepare it for the chocolate that we're going to be putting in there and putting it back in the oven. And now we could also melt the chocolate in a pot and then slowly pour it in. I haven't done this before, so this is new to me. I'm going to probably put some chocolate bits in there and let the heat melt it. Okay, so I microwaved it, and I'm just going to smear it in there just so I get the right amount, and I'm going to put it in the oven so it liquefies even more and kind of takes shape of the let's go deep. I'm sure you could really melt this down further in the microwave or in the oven. I mean on the stove. But for my purpose here, I'm just going to throw it back in the oven a little bit to get a nice even, because I'm noticing it's a little bit chunky. I think it'll flow better once I put it back in the oven. Get warmer and pick up the pockets that's missing right now. So I'm going to do this real quick, scrape this off like that. Alright, let's put this back. So we did melt the chocolate, and one thing I did learn about melting chocolate is you don't want to melt it again. You don't want to recycle chocolate. You only want to melt it once, because as you remelt it over and over again, the chocolate starts to break down. It starts to become muddy, and it's really not what we want. What we want it is to be very fluid, liquid-like. So we pour it into the silicone food grade mold and peel it off without any issue. This one is the recycled one, as I mentioned to you. It came out okay. I did add a little bit milk to it to make it softer, because I did notice the first time around it was extremely brittle. So, and of course I believe I got the wrong chocolate type. The chocolate itself is powdery. It's not, doesn't stay creamy. So what I did next was I mixed it with white chocolate, and the white chocolate gave me this result. And the white chocolate is a lot more smoother and a different consistency, and obviously I got some funky color there. I did add vegetable oil into the silicone mold before I poured it in there, and you see some patches there. I literally just peeled it off a few minutes ago, and it's still kind of warm, and let it cool off there. So the bottom line is, don't dust it with flour like I did. Do put vegetable oil, and do kind of make sure you massage it and get no pockets of the oil, otherwise it transfers on. Other than that, oh, one more tip. When you do demold the chocolate bar, you do it upside down like so, and then you slowly peel it in this manner while the back area is nice and flat and stiff. This way you don't crack it, as I did with my first one. Okay, so that's the process of making a chocolate bar using the food grade platinum silicone mold. I was very pleased the way it performed. I microwaved it up to 30 seconds. It's microwavable, this dishwasher safe, and I did increase the temperature up to 450 just to see what it can handle up to, and it was just fine. The best way to do this particular chocolate is I melted it first to the point where it was somewhat malleable, and then I put it back in the microwave for 30 seconds so everything kind of smoothens out, and then I took it out to let it air cool dry, and then I went ahead and I put it in the refrigerator.